this lesson, students will be able to solve word problems by defining one variable in terms of another and writing and solving algebraic equations. Do now. Go ahead and try this problem on your own, so pause the movie and resume when you're ready. The length of a rectangle is 6 inches more than its width. The perimeter of the rectangle is 24 inches. What is the length of the rectangle? Draw a diagram and define your variable. So I'm going to begin by drawing my diagram. So here's my rectangle. The problem states that the length of the rectangle is 6 inches more than its width. Well, since I don't know what the width is, I am going to let x equal the width of the rectangle. And then I can go ahead and label the width of my rectangle as x. Now the length is 6 inches more than the width, which we've now defined as x. In other words, x plus 6 would equal our length. So now on my diagram, I can label the length as x plus 6. We also know that the perimeter of the rectangle is 24 inches. So I can go ahead and write an equation based on this information, that my perimeter, or the sum of each of the sides, is 24. So x plus x, which are the two widths, plus x plus 6 plus x plus 6, which are my other two sides of the rectangle, all add up to 24. Now I can combine like terms. X plus x plus x plus x gives us 4x, and positive 6 plus positive 6 gives us positive 12. Now I can use inverse operations to solve for x. So I subtract 12 from both sides, divide 4 from both sides, and I find that x equals 3. Now it's very important that we defined our variable because now I know that x, which stands for our width, is 3 inches. The question asked what is the length of the rectangle. So then I would look at my definition of my variables and see that length is x plus 6, or in this case, 3 plus 6. So the length of the rectangle is 3 plus 6, or 9 inches. Now we can always check our work for these. Since we're saying that x is 3, which means that these two sides of the rectangle are 3 inches, and that the other two sides are 9 inches. Well, 9 plus 9 is 18, plus the 3 plus 3, or 6, gives us 24 inches. Go ahead and try this problem on your own, pause the movie, and resume when you're ready. The width of a rectangle is 2 centimeters less than its length. The perimeter of the rectangle is 16 centimeters. What is the length of the rectangle? Well, like last time, I'm going to begin by drawing myself a diagram. The width of the rectangle is 2 centimeters less than its length. So I'm going to let x equal the length. And since the width is 2 centimeters less than, I know that x minus 2 is going to equal the width. So I have x and x as my length, and x minus 2 for my width. The perimeter is 16 centimeters. So I can write my equation, x plus x minus 2 plus x minus 2 equals 16. Combine like terms, which gives me 4x minus 4, because negative 2 and negative 2 make negative 4 when I add them together. And then I can solve for x by using inverse operations. And I get that x equals 5. Now the question asked for the length of the rectangle, and as we can see over here, our length is our x, which means that the length of the rectangle is 5 centimeters. Go ahead and try this one. Pause the movie and resume when you're ready. The width of a rectangle is 3 inches less than its length. The perimeter of the rectangle is 26 inches. What is the width of the rectangle? So I'm going to start by drawing my rectangle. The width of the rectangle is 3 inches less than its length. So I start by defining x, which would be the length. And since the width is 3 inches less than the length, then I can say that x minus 3 would be the width. So I have my x for the length, x minus 3 as the width, and I know that the perimeter is 26. So x plus x minus 3 plus x minus 3 equals 26. We have 4x minus 6 equals 26. Add 6 to both sides, and we get that 4x equals 32. Divide by 4, x equals 8. The question asks for the width of the rectangle. According to our definitions, the width is x minus 3. So when I plug in 8 for x, I can find that the width is 5 inches. So the width of the rectangle is 5 inches. Consecutive integers are integers that differ by 1, or integers that are in a row. For example, 50 and 51 are consecutive integers. Negative 10, negative 9, and negative 8 are also consecutive integers. And we can also talk about things like consecutive even integers or consecutive odd integers, which means even integers or odd integers in a row. So for example, 2, 4, and 6 are consecutive even integers. So this problem states that the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 147. Find the integers. Well, we need to begin by defining our variable. So we are going to let x equal the smallest integer. Now that I've defined the smallest integer as x, and I know that they're consecutive, I know that x plus 1 would equal the middle integer. Now I know that if I was to add one more, I would get to my biggest integer. So if I add another 1, I would get x plus 2. So let x plus 2 equal the biggest integer. Now I know that the sum of these three consecutive integers is 147. So I can add these all up and set them equal to 147. X plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals 147. I combine like terms to get 3x plus 3 equals 147. Subtract 3 from both sides to get that 3x equals 144. And then I can divide by 3. 3 goes into 14 4 times, with 2 left over. Bring down our 4. 3 goes into 24 8 times exactly, so we find that x equals 48. X represents our smallest integer. Our middle integer is x plus 1, or 49, and our biggest integer is x plus 2, so 48 plus 2, or 50. Therefore, the three consecutive integers are 48, 49, and 50. If we were to add 48 plus 49 plus 50, we would get 147. Using algebra allowed us to avoid guess and check and save ourselves some time. Go ahead and try these problems on your own. Pause the movie and resume when you're ready. Number 1. The sum of three consecutive integers is 48. Find the integers. So we're going to let x equal the smallest integer. Let x plus 1 equal the middle integer. And let x plus 2 equal the biggest integer. Their sum, x plus 1 plus x plus 2, equals 48. So 3x plus 3 equals 48. I subtract 3 to get that 3x equals 45. Divide by 3 and we get that x equals 15. 15 is the smallest integer, and then we add 1 to get 16 and we add 2 to get 17. So the three consecutive integers are 15, 16, and 17. The sum of three consecutive integers is 72. Find the integers. Well, we let x equal the smallest integer. Let x plus 1 equal the middle integer. And let x plus 2 equal the biggest integer. Their sum, x plus 1 plus x plus 2, equals 72. So 3x plus 3 equals 72. Subtract 3, we get 3x equals 69. Divide by 3, and we get that x equals 23. Therefore, the three integers are 23, 24, and 25.